The lung. It governs the surface and protects us from the common cold. In parentheses there, I wrote Wei Qi. What kind of Qi is that? Anybody remember the English? It's immunity, but it's the protective or defensive Qi. The Qi that circulates at the surface of our body and prevents us from being attacked by the elements, from the weather. Chinese medicine, that's how we view the common cold. It's the weather attacking us. So the lung will then, the lung qi will then be used to create Wei Qi, and the Wei Qi will circulate at the body surface and protect us. This will control the opening and closing of the pores, the sweat pores. So for instance, someone who has a lung Qi deficiency, they will get colds commonly. Their voices will get tired easily. That's because the voice box is like an extension of the lungs, and you have to blow air through that area in order to make sound. So then the lungs functioning isn't doing as well. And when they exert themselves, anytime they use a little bit of their qi, they'll break into sweat very easily. Because the Wei Qi cannot then control the pores. And so they stay open and you sweat easily. Talking about someone walks up a flight of stairs and they start sweating. Not like you went and exercised for 5 minutes even. 5 minutes is fine. 5 minutes or longer and then you start sweating. That's good. The other thing that it does is it descends and disperses the fluid. The pancreas is the one that breaks down the fluids, right? We talked about that. So then what it does is the pancreas will actually send the fluids up to the lungs, and then the lungs will send it to the surface to nourish the skin, moisten the skin. And then it'll descend it, so that first part was dispersing to the surface. The second part is it descends it down to the kidneys, which then the kidneys will process fluids. So it has this outward movement and this downward movement of the lungs, of the fluid as well, the fluid from the lungs.
So, sorry, so you were saying it starts from the liver, moves up to the lungs.
Pancreas.
Pancreas, sorry. Moves up to the lungs and then out and then back into the kidney.
So it goes from the pancreas and stomach. The pancreas will send it up to the lungs. The lungs, at the same time that it sends it outwards, like it sends some of it outwards, it sends some of it downwards to the kidney. Okay. At the same time. Okay. So with this in mind, why do we get phlegm when we get sick? Any ideas?
You can't disperse.
So if the fluids aren't dispersing, then they're getting clumped up. And then we get phlegm. Good job. So one of the things that you can do in order to prevent yourselves from getting the common cold is to wear scarves. Did I mention that last week? No?
No, and actually, I was sorry, I was laughing because my dad wears turtlenecks.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
I make fun of them.
Yeah, but it does protect him.
It makes, it makes sense.
So when we get to the acupuncture channels, we'll talk more about this. But the channels that are closest to the surface run right back here along either side of the spine. Okay, this is the urinary bladder channel and the small intestine channel. They are the channels that are the most surface and not as deep as the other channels. So these channels that are most surface are the ones to get attacked first by the environment, from the environmental pathogens or the evil qi that we talked about. Yeah. So if you wear a scarf, you're covering this main spot where it likes to come in and you're protecting yourself, which is really nice. The spot is at the very upper part of your back, just below the base of your neck. And the other thing you can do is you can just rub right here a lot. The more you rub there, the more friction you'll get, the more heat you'll get. You'll be putting qi into it, and then you'll be having more qi there to protect yourself from that. So if you like to ride bikes a lot, if you like ride motorcycles or mopeds, or you like to ride with your windows rolled down, just think about that. You're getting a ton of wind that's hitting your body, which is the start of a possibility of getting a cold. That doesn't always happen. Depends how strong your protective qi is.